She declared, "I'll keep my maiden name for my career. It's a feminist stand." I responded, "I fully back your choice." I then proposed a prenup to ensure our finances stayed separate, reinforcing her autonomy. She later realized the weight of my surname when she found she had no legal claim to its associated wealth. Hello viewers, thanks for tuning in. If you've been following the channel for a while and haven't subscribed yet, now's the perfect moment. Let's dive into the tale. It's often said a name is one's greatest asset. I never dwelled on it much. To me, my surname was merely a label, something I'd carried since birth. It was my fiancée Amelia who revealed its true significance. By refusing to adopt it, she unknowingly shielded me and my family from the most audacious takeover I've ever seen. This unfolded about a year ago, and it's taken me this long to unravel the chaos and recognize it for the ironic masterpiece it was. To grasp the story, you must know my family. My surname isn't renowned like Rockefeller or Vanderbilt, but in certain circles it holds considerable clout. My great-grandfather launched a manufacturing firm in the 1930s, which through grit and luck grew into a discrete empire. We're what's politely called old money. It's not a realm of flashy cars or reality TV. It's one of trusts, boardrooms, charitable foundations, and an overwhelming duty not to be the generation that ruins it all. I've always had a complex relationship with my family's fortune. I cherish them and appreciate the privileges I've had, but I've spent my life proving I'm more than my surname. I avoided the family business, choosing art history, a field once jokingly called the priciest hobby a man could pursue. I live modestly, working as a curator at a city museum, driving a practical car and residing in a nice but not lavish apartment. I sought a partner who'd love me, the quirky art historian, not my family's trust fund balance. Then I met Amelia. We connected at a university fundraiser. She was brilliant, witty, and driven. A corporate lawyer aiming for partnership at a top firm, her ambition was magnetic. For the first 6 months, she knew nothing of my family's wealth. She thought I came from a comfortable background, unaware of its true scope. I loved that she chose me for me. The truth emerged a year in when I brought her to my family's estate for Christmas. The estate, a grand century-old property, is home to me. To her, it likely seemed like a scene from a historical drama. As we entered, I saw her eyes widen slightly, taking in the vastness, the art, the subtle elegance. Over the next year, I noticed small changes in her. Her ambition, once focused on her career, began to broaden. She asked more about the family business, the foundation, the trust my great-grandfather established. Her wardrobe shifted from sharp professionalism to understated luxury. She started viewing our life not as a shared journey, but as a stepping stone. The woman I loved, so proud of her own success, was morphing into someone calculating her potential stake. Yet I loved her. I told myself I was overthinking it, that she was just trying to understand my world. So, after 3 years, I proposed in Florence, a city I cherish. It was romantic, sincere, and she said yes. For a moment, I was elated. Wedding planning began, and soon the first major rift appeared. Over coffee, discussing invitations, she announced, "I've decided not to take your surname." I was surprised, but not stunned. "Okay, why?" "It's a feminist issue, obviously," she said, as if it were undeniable. "I've built my name in the legal world. My career's my identity. Taking your name would weaken that. It's an archaic, patriarchal custom, and we're beyond that." I listened, processing her words. She didn't want to be Mrs. Ethan Sterling. She wanted to remain Amelia Hart, Esquire, married to a Sterling. She aimed to keep her brand while reaping my family's benefits, a franchisee, not a partner. My disappointment ran deep. It wasn't about the name itself. I'm not traditional. It was what it signified. She saw our marriage as a strategic partnership, retaining her autonomy while accessing my resources. A clear, cold idea formed, rooted in her logic. "You're absolutely right," I said, and her face softened into a smug grin. "I completely support that. Your independence is what I admire most. You've worked hard, and you should protect it." "I'm glad you get it," she replied. "I do," I continued, leaning in. "And we should go further. For a truly modern partnership that honors your independence, we should formalize it with a prenuptial agreement." Her smile wavered briefly. "A prenup? Isn't that unromantic?" "Is it less romantic than keeping your name?" I countered softly. "It's the ultimate respect. A legal document saying I value your independence and career so much, I want to protect it. It keeps our finances separate. What's yours is yours. What's mine is mine. It aligns with your principles. She couldn't argue. I'd used her feminist rhetoric to frame the prenup as a logical step. Opposing it would reveal her name decision wasn't about feminism, but something else. She was cornered. Okay, she said slowly, if you think it's necessary. The next weeks were a masterclass in legal strategy. We hired lawyers, hers, a fierce divorce specialist known for aggressive tactics, mine, Mr. Davies, our family's quiet, meticulous attorney since before my birth. Amelia's team focused on safeguarding her future earnings and assets, ensuring her firm partnership income remained hers alone. They were so fixated on her career that they overlooked Mr. Davies' clauses. His terms were straightforward, elegant, and airtight. The prenup declared all assets, properties, trusts, inheritances, and financial instruments tied to the Sterling name as my sole property, forever indivisible. It was a stronghold. Amelia signed without objection, seeing it as a win. She'd protected her brand, feeling clever and modern, a feminist triumph. She didn't realize she'd signed away any claim to the empire she aimed to seize. Post-prenup, her behavior grew bolder. Subtle hints became overt plans. She spoke of our future not in our apartment, but at the estate. The West Wing has such lovely morning light, she mused, suggesting renovations for a space not hers. She dropped my surname in talks with colleagues, positioning herself as the future head of a dynasty she'd legally barred herself from. The final betrayal came a month before the wedding. I came home early and overheard her on a video call, speaking in her sharp lawyer voice. My priority upon marriage is securing a seat on the foundation's board, she said. Their philanthropy is outdated. With my legal expertise and status as Ethan's wife, I can overhaul the bylaws and redirect funds to modern, high-impact ventures. I stood frozen. She wasn't just eyeing my family's wealth. She was planning a corporate-style takeover of my great-grandfather's legacy, treating our charitable foundation, focused on libraries and hospitals, like a failing business she'd acquire, using her role as my wife as leverage. I left silently. Hurt gave way to disgust. The woman I was to marry was a corporate raider, targeting my family. That night, I confronted her. She didn't deny it, instead reframing it. I'm helping Ethan, she said condescendingly. Your family's stuck in the past. I can modernize the foundation, make it a global force. It's not your foundation to change, I replied, nor your name to leverage. It will be when I'm your wife, she snapped, frustration surfacing. No, I said calmly, it won't. The wedding's off. Her composure shattered. The poised lawyer became a furious stranger, screaming I'd regret losing her. The next day, her lawyer called, claiming damages for the canceled wedding and our implied future. Mr. Davies listened, then calmly directed them to Article 4, Section B, Subsection C of the prenup, stating both parties walk away with their separate assets upon engagement dissolution, forfeiting all other claims. Silence followed. Amelia, so focused on her future, hadn't considered the present. That was the last from her legal team. She left one final tearful voicemail. I don't understand, Ethan. I was doing this for us, to grow your family's legacy. She missed the point entirely. She saw wealth as the prize, not trust, respect, or a shared life, the true fortune. Her feminism was a facade, her independence a tactic, her love a transaction. A brilliant lawyer, she'd negotiated her worst deal. By keeping her name to preserve her brand, she forfeited the only key to the empire she craved. The prenup, signed to prove her independence, ensured she left with only that. It's the most perfect, deserved irony I've witnessed. This year taught me much, but the key lesson is, when someone reveals their true self, trust them.